You want to follow me along for a day doing weed control and fertilization? That's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you how my day actually looks. It's the first day of a new round of treatments for my lawn care business. I'm putting out lime on the yard. That's what we do here in my area because we typically have acidic soil, and the lime helps raise the pH of the soil, which benefits the turf grass. But I want to show you what it looks like to be in the weed control and fertilization business. Let's do that now. Today's video is sponsored by Yardbook. If you're looking for a lawn care software, you can use the software I've been using since 2015. Go to yardbook.com. So here's my laptop. Got to get started this morning. What I do, and I get up, get moving around, all that, eat breakfast usually. I'm going to sit down in my computer and open up Yardbook, and I'm going to create the invoices. Then we're going to get out there and load the truck up, because I'm going to try to get probably 22, 23 yards done today. So I got a full day. I want to go ahead and take care of the office side of things, or the majority of that this morning. And then I'm going to go get the truck ready. This document here is my schedule for my round of treatments. I just printed off a fresh copy, updated with new customers that's been added, customers that canceled, I take them off the list, and I'm ready to go. Fresh copy. Excited about that. So what I'm going to do, I go down this schedule almost exactly as it is, and it's organized by neighborhoods. So I'm going to go ahead and create the invoices for today's neighborhood, the first neighborhood. Create all these invoices in Yardbook, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit how I do that. Fire up the computer here. Oh, this is the weed control workshop. I'll put a link in the description of that. I'm doing a one-day live training thing November 29th near Trussville, Alabama, which is near Birmingham. So if you want to come see in action how to spray yards, if you're looking to get into weed control and fertilization, the weed control workshop. All right, so this is my Yardbook dashboard. I'm not going to get close to it, but basically what I do, there's an invoice tab over here. I click on the invoice tab, and instead of typing in the new description and all that for today's invoice, I just go find the invoice from 1 year ago when I was doing lime. It already has the description, already tells the customer that they're putting lime out, that yes, it's okay if you got leaves on the yard. Please, I encourage them not to bag the leaves up with a riding lawnmower until we've received some rain, but they can mulch the leaves, that's fine. If they want to rake the leaves, that's fine. Even if they bag the leaves, I mean, the likelihood they're going to suck up very much lime is just not very high. So I'm going to create these invoices. What's great about it, I just create one, and I just hit create similar and choose a new customer. And all I do is go through and create basically the same exact invoice for all the customers, just changing the name of the customer and the price. So this takes about, I don't know, 4 minutes. One of the other things I do, and I tried to do this the day before, is when I look on my schedule at the yards coming up the next day, some of them have an N by it, and the N stands for notify. So there's a few customers that need me to let them know I'm coming so that they can put the dog up, so they can unlock the gate, whatever is the need that they want to be notified. Typically, I don't notify them unless they ask me to, but I do tell them, hey, there'll be a yard sign in your yard, so you'll know that I've been there. So to notify them is simply just a quick text message letting them know that, hey, this is Jason with Alabama Lawn Pros, letting you know I'm coming out to put lime on the yard tomorrow, and they are appreciative of me giving them a heads up. I got the invoices created. It's 24 yards on the schedule today. All right, got my truck out, getting ready to go. Got to get loaded up. Here's the pallets of lime. Got to cut the plastic wrapping off and start loading this lime onto the truck. I think I love about having a flatbed truck is it just gives you a lot of room. I can easily fit plenty of lime back here for today's job. Got my rack back here that I'm going to put my ride-on spreader sprayer on, which is what I'm going to mostly be using today. I also have a little solo chest-mounted spreader that I'll be using on some of the small yards. All right, this is my old Ground Logic little ride-on spreader spray. I'm gonna get it cranked up and get it loaded on the truck. All right, here's a couple other things I carry with me when I'm doing lime. I've got this Milwaukee little handheld battery-powered blower in case I throw lime all over the sidewalk. I try not to do that, but just in case, I've got this solo chest-mounted spreader.
it works pretty good, throws a good pattern, and on small yard or really hilly yard, I'll put that around my shoulder and spread the lime that way. As far as what I put in the tanks on this last application, I like to keep one that has blindside in it. Blindside's good for Star of Bethlehem and onions, wild garlic, things like that. So I usually keep that in there. And as we go on a little bit later and start getting some freezing weather, then I'll keep glyphosate in one. And on a dormant Bermuda lawn, the glyphosate is good for going after weeds like Dallas grass, really tough grassy weeds. All right, I got the lime loaded up. Let's get ready. Let's hit the road and get out there to that first lawn of the day. Just pulled up to the first lawn. A couple things I did this morning. One, I sent out a mass text message to my customers letting them know that this is the time of year where they can prepay for next year with a 5% discount. If they want to do that, I'll leave a self-addressed envelope on their door with their prepay amount for next year. So I give them the option to do that. Also, another thing I like to do is to try to head off any questions I can beforehand. If I can answer their question I think they might ask before they ask it, then it's going to save me time. So it's also on the invoice and also in an email, let them know that it's okay to have leaves in your yard, because that's what I get asked sometimes. Hey, well, I've got a bunch of leaves in my yard. Why are you putting out the lime? Is the leaves going to mess it up or whatever? And so I go ahead and address that. That like, listen, it's okay if there's leaves. It's a granular lime. It's going to get to the ground. Even if the leaves were bagged, it's probably going to bag such a minuscule amount of the lime. But I tell them you can mulch it up. And if you want to be on the safe side, just let it rain before you bag the leaves if you're going to bag them. About 9:40 a.m. I'm on my 6th yard of the day. Halloween's over and you still got that big giant inflatable snake thing over there. I don't know why people leave that stuff in their yard. Anyway, pulling up on this yard, gonna video throwing some lime out on this yard on my ride-on spreader sprayer. I actually featured this yard before in a video on dealing with multiple grass types. This yard has at least 3 grass types, maybe more, but I know it's got centipede, Bermuda, and St. Augustine. Fortunately, I can just put lime on all of it. 10th yard of the day, near perfect weather. Let's get busy. I made it to my final neighborhood. I've got 13 yards in this neighborhood. One of the great things about having 13 yards in a neighborhood, and I wish I had more than that, but when you start putting the yard signs out in the neighborhood and you have 13 of them in the same neighborhood, well, at least that's 13 times that somebody driving through there or in 13 different areas, they can see your sign. So it's kind of that branding when they get ready to make a change from their lawn care company or somebody just moving in town, then hopefully my name, my business name is going to be recognizable because they've seen the signs over and over again. Hopefully they're seeing those signs in really nice looking yards as well. The other thing I want to mention, this happens almost every year. We'll be out there in the summer, it's so hot and sweating and everything, and then you get this time of year, the weather's beautiful, and I'm riding around on a spreader throwing out lime, and it's almost perfect. This is my favorite application of the year. I'm also getting all these prepayments in for next year, so I'm getting a lot of money coming in, and I think this is the application that I think, wow, this may be one of the best jobs ever. Now you talk to me again next summer, it's hot, I'm sweating, customers complaining, whatever, and then I may change my mind. But right now, everything's going great. Let me get back to putting lime out. I got a prepaid customer here, so I'm putting these forms on their door. Slight price increase from last year because the materials came
continued to go up, unfortunately. Had to come back to my workshop, made 2 mistakes today.
Really 1 mistake and 1 problem. The mistake was I've shortchanged myself about 1 or 2 bags of lime, so I was gonna run out, but I've got 7 yards to go. So fortunately I was close to my workshop. I was able to run by and just grab a couple more bags to finish off the day. The other problem I've had the problem I've had with this Ground Logic, I've had this issue several times, but this impeller here is supposed to spin as you press the throttle. Well, there's a little metal clamp inside there that has some Allen wrenches, bolts. If you take this off, you'll see them, and it basically attaches to the shaft that goes up through the impeller here. And if those bolts get loose, then it won't spin when you are moving. And so basically you start dumping lime on the ground or fertilizer or whatever it is. So it wasn't spinning great. It was kind of off and on, off and on. I've had that problem before, so I'd come back, tighten up those 2 bolts, and I think we're good to go now. So let's hit the road and get these last 7 yards knocked out. It's about 2:45. I've got 3 yards left. I think it's made 24 yards total for the day. And just think about that. I mean, in weed control and fertilization, this is one of my fastest rounds, but if these are fairly small yards, but if you did 25 yards that are $40 each, that's $1,000. So I don't know what my revenue is for today, but it's pretty good, and probably be home by 4 o'clock. And that's with having to go back to my workshop, fix my piece of equipment, get a little bit more lime, stop me, eat lunch. I mean, it's a great business. I'll just say that. So I got a few more yards to do, and then I'm gonna show you how I wrap up my day when I get back home. The other thing I'm doing here, since this is the last application of the year, I've already notified my customers that there's going to be a small price increase. So I'm going into Yard Book from my phone and changing the price, because the next time I come back to do these yards, it'll be the updated pricing structure. One thing I also can do, and this is what's great about being your own boss, is there's one customer on here, I was like, you know what, that guy leaves me a tip pretty much every single time on Yard Book, and so I didn't go up on him. I'm like, I'm good. I don't think he would fire me. But I think, you know, a customer like that appreciates me, leaves me a tip almost every time. I don't need to increase his price just to get a couple more bucks out of him. He's already given me a tip more than the price increase would be. I really appreciate that, and I want to show him that by not increasing his price. Just got home, 24 yards, and it's 3:32 in the afternoon. Now I got to take care of the end of the day office work. I'm going to show you just a little bit about that, what I do. And that'll wrap up the day for me. I might do a little bit of preparation for tomorrow, because I got 24 yards tomorrow on the schedule. So I may go ahead and throw the lime on the back of the truck where it'll be ready to go in the morning. Back here, back on my Yard Book screen, and what I do now is the ones that's paid for the year, I just mark those as paid with a $0 invoice. I still send them an invoice because it has a little description of what was done on the yard that day. And the ones that have a credit card on file, of course I'm going to charge the card on file. And then I'm going to email everybody their invoice. So that doesn't take me just a couple minutes here to knock all that out. And then I basically got to contact a few people that need to be notified for tomorrow. I already got the lime loaded up on the truck tomorrow. So it's been a productive day, and look forward to jumping back in there tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. I thought this might give you a taste of what I do on a daily basis. What it's like being a solo operator in the weed control and fertilization business. Check out the links below if you want to come to training day on the 29th, or if you want to get the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. I also got the dynamic pricing chart. So if you need a pricing chart help for your mowing or your weed control, those resources and others are available at lawncarelife.com. We'll see you in the next video.